Buzz.
Hi.
Metal to the Masses.
Yeah.
Played yesterday.
That's right.
So how did you come through the Metal to the Masses? You won the regional winners.
Yeah, we won the Nottingham regionals.
Yeah.
Smashing. How was that as a competition?
It was good. I mean, when we got to the final, and I think there were 6 bands on, and I think, to be fair, every one of them could have got through. The standard of the bands was all really, really good. So it was an honour to get through, really, to be picked out of all of them.
Fully.
But I don't know. Some people feel a little bit down on the whole Battle of the Bands things. They don't see it as a worthwhile pursuit. But I mean, at the end of the day, it promotes a meritocracy amongst bands that you should be as good as you can at what you do. And again, like I say, when Rob Bannister picked us, I think it was just amazing to be picked for this massive festival. So.
Yeah.
When you were saying any of the bands could have got through, can I ask you a really difficult question?
Sure.
If you hadn't won, who should have?
Well, one of the other bands did get through. It was unusual for this year. They put 2 through for the first time. So they put Pemphigoid on the Jägermeister stage. I think they're playing today.
I think so, yeah.
So they were really good, kind of the old school, like bolt thrower, death metal vibe. In terms of the other bands...
was it Myok?
Myok were good. There was another band that were really good who were a bit more grungy. And unfortunately, I don't know whether they fit. I don't know whether they fitted the vibe of Bloodstock. Although I have seen quite unusual musicians here before. There was a guy called Aaron Keylock, who's like a 14-year-old blues musician, and it was just straight, that Hendrix Scream kind of vibe. He was really, really good. So I think Bloodstock can have some kind of left field bands on, but I think for that competition, I don't know, maybe they didn't fit. But yeah, they're all very, very tight. I haven't really answered your question.
Basically, everybody brought their A game for the final, and we went in confident. We went in confident, and I think we were on second from last.
Yeah.
And by the time 3 bands had been on, we were all like, "Ooh, yeah, we've got a challenge on our hands."
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, by definition, Pemphigoid would have probably got through if we weren't in the competition.
Yeah, they would have probably been the winners. Had a great sound.
And probably other than that, probably Myok. I mean, their vibe was very different to a lot of the rest of the bands, which kind of made them stand out. I think that played to their advantage a little bit because they weren't playing a million miles an hour and going, ooh.
Yeah, there was another band on, I can't remember the name, who were like a really sort of techie, Meshuggah-esque sort of band, and they were mega tight.
Yes.
A couple of bands on it was scary. Yeah. And we got just into the beginning of Blue Teen on one of our songs, and there's like a cowbell part at the beginning, but because the cowbell's under the crash cymbal, it's really uncomfortable to play. And as we got into the intro, I dropped my stick, and usually I can retrieve it, but it rolled right under the drum kit, so I couldn't do it, so we had to stop. I looked at James, and James was like, "Oh, we're starting from that point where we stopped." So he started from there, I started from the beginning, so we fucked up again, then had to start again. I was like, gee, we are fucking this up, man.
Yeah, but we felt like we dropped the ball a little bit on that one, but I think we fumbled and saved.
Yeah, dropped the stick on that one. But the fact that there were things that we could have improved about our show, and we still got through. I don't know. Maybe speaks to just the strength of the material, which I can't take responsibility for because I joined the band in October, by which point they'd already written all the songs that we played. So, just great.
So have you guys been to Bloodstock before as punters? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. I came in.
Times.
In fact, I don't know if you came in 2016, but all the rest of Widows came in 2016.
Was it Rob Zombie headlining on the Sunday?
Mastodon headlined the main stage.
Yeah, I came to that one, yeah.
So we were all here, like me and other Adam, first singer. Adam, the singer, me and him both came down, and then like Phil, bass player, then Adam, the drummer, came down in separate capacities.
Yeah, so I didn't know you then.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, like I only came down for the day, and I was like, yeah, it's great. We came straight into the VIP because they were the wristbands that we had. Just walked right into the middle of the festival. And normally, big festivals, it's you need a couple of hobbits to go on that kind of journey to get from one end to the other. But this is like, it's a nice leisurely stroll. Walk past, get some chips, check out the new Blood stage, go back to the Sophie tent. Decent.
Yeah. That's what I wonder. So what keeps bringing you back then? If you've been here a few times.
Say that again.
What keeps bringing you back? Have you been here a few times?
Well, I mean, when I grew up, my parents used to play loads of music in the house, but it was all It's like Dolly Parton and Roy Orbison and stuff. So I've got a bit of a pop sensibility in my taste. But then I was about 13 or whatever. Somebody played me a Metallica video, and I was like, boom, what the hell is this? And I remember when Headbangers Ball used to be on, and I was kind of finding my feet with music for the first time. You know, you have that kind of cultural moment where you get introduced to culture as a young person and realise you can be a part of it. And he played me the Ditto Head video by Slayer, and he gets to do it with the double bass part. And I hadn't started drumming by that point. I was just kind of mooting the idea. And he said, "Can you hear that noise?" And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "He's doing that with his feet." And I was just like, boom, just blew my mind. I was like, right, we're doing that then. So in terms of what keeps bringing me back, I suppose what I'm saying is that I'm a metal kid at heart, and it's the vibe of the festival. It seems to me like the more violent the music is, the more peaceful the people are. You know, because I've been to like R&B festivals and stuff, and I love R&B music and hip hop, but like people are getting stabbed left, right, and centre. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not all the festivals. I'm not being down on it.
Yeah, well, I went to Lovebox. Went to Lovebox down in London last year, which is like a big dance music kind of R&B hip hop festival. And I wasn't expecting it to be entirely peaceful, but like I saw a couple of dudes getting proper leathered by like a big group. It took a few minutes for them to get up. Like there was some naughty fellas running about that place. Whereas like I don't think you really get that.
Yeah, the vibe of any metal festival is just like, I don't mean this in a pejorative way, but when I was young and I got into the metal festival, it's like it's all the freaks, isn't it? It's the people who don't fit in anywhere else, but they can all get together and like you can walk around and you know you can see a guy dressed in a gimp suit or a woman with purple hair or people with flesh tunnels and all that kind of stuff. And it's like because there's so many of us and we're all individuals, you know, it's like everybody accepts one another, and there's such a wide spectrum of heavy metal music. There's something for everybody. So I think it's the vibe. I think it's the people that it's just in my heart as a person.
It sounds cheesy, but it's a bit of a brotherhood.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Personhood.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, in these politically sensitive times.
But yeah, it's in terms of the music, you know, it's finding those bands that have the fantastic songwriting, but also those impressive technical displays of musical excellence as well. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to be happy about being part of this scene and coming to this festival. And
so getting back to Widows yourselves, what have you got coming up over the next few months? You got any releases? You got any tour dates planned? Or?
We're currently writing for the next release. So we've got a few songs in the works, sounding massive. A little bit of a departure from what we've done before, but evolve or die, basically. I don't want to release the same record twice. It's boring. Let's see, gigs-wise, end of this month we've got Riffest up in Manchester at the Bread Shed. We've got Dog Throne coming over from, I think they're Canadian, aren't they, Dog Throne? And Corrupt Moral Altar as well, like a disgusting grindcore band from up like Liverpool, Southport sort of way. Ton of great bands on that. Macmillan Fest in Nottingham, United Macmillan Cancer Support. Honourable Cause, one that's close to my heart, and I'm sure many others. We've got that on the 7th of September at the Nottingham one, because they do a Bristol one as well. But we're opening the Rock City stage, but the basement, not the main room, sadly. But yeah, that's going to be cool, man. I mean, we played Macmillan Fest a couple of times now, and it's always been a good laugh. Like, they always get a great lineup, and they raise a shit ton of cash for a great cause, so you can't deny it. Start of October, 4th, 5th and 6th, we've got a little weekender with Barbarian Hermit, who opened the festival this year. And another band called Drudge as well, so we're doing Workington, which is Drudge's hometown.
I'm glad he remembers all this stuff.
Walking diary.
And we're going to, where is it? We're going to Bannerman's in Edinburgh. Which is
nice little venue.
Always going to be a good laugh. Get fucked up on Bucky, as is tradition. And then on Sunday the 6th, we're down at Trillions in Newcastle for Rock the Foundry, so that's going to be another all-dayer. I've never been to Trillions, although my good friend Vicky Ridley, who lives up there, she does a lot of like media stuff.
Many of my formative years were in Trillions.
Yeah, she's a big fan of Trillions, so she was over the moon when she found out we were playing. She's like, "Oh, I'm coming to see you at my local."
Yeah, so it only reopened about 2 years ago.
That's right. Yeah. And then we've got Sophie Fest again up in Manchester. That's think that's the 23rd or 24th of November, something like that. And then I think we've got Cult Fest down in over in Scunthorpe as well in November as well. But I can't remember the date on that one. I think it's the 9th. Yeah, but that's what we got lined up for the rest of the year musically. But just a lot of writing now, basically. We need to concentrate, knock these shows out, and concentrate on the writing in between, because it always takes us a long time to write.
It's a long process.
So you're looking at an EP release or an album release?
Hopefully an album, I reckon.
Album's what we're going
for. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Why not?
Seems like it's a little easier to get more kind of like media push behind you with an album. So we're like, all right, well, we'll write an album then.
But yeah, and I think artistically, like for me, growing up, it was always about the album, about the body of work. It was a snapshot of a band at that period in their development. And I get excited about making those albums. I mean, I know people don't, because of the way we stream music and we listen to one track at a time in playlists, people don't consume it in that way anymore. But I still think it's important to produce it in that way, so that, because it's satisfying as an artist, and so people have that option of consuming it that way if they want to.
You can either release 8, 9, 15 tracks, whatever, and just go, there's some music that we wrote. Or you can, and this is going to sound really pretentious, or you can put out a piece of art. Essentially, something that someone goes, actually, you know what, I'm willing to part with 20 quid of my hard-earned cash for that, because it's beautiful. It's packaged. It's not just a CD and a sleeve. It's like, there's artwork to look at, and it's detailed and intricate, and there's stuff you can find if you go deep into it, kind of thing.
And plus an album's like a book as well.
Exactly.
Like, you don't just write one chapter of a book. I mean, you like, the album is the whole novel with all the parts of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a concept album to fit that definition, I don't think, but that's the way I like to think of it.
A snapshot of you as a band at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Portrait of the stoner as a young man.
It's like a little Polaroid selfie at one point in your life. Like, okay, this is what's happening at exactly this point.
Which is one of the things Tool said about why it took him so long to release albums. Because Danny Carey was saying, like, look, released an album every year. We haven't learned anything new as artists. Like, what are we going to say to you? So, and it's been a while. Obviously, I've not made an album with you yet. So.
I mean, if you've got something to say, keep firing it out.
But if you've not,
then wait until you have. Because otherwise you're just shouting into the wind.
As you said, you're releasing the same album over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, granted, we'd all love Metallica just to release Ride the Lightning every 3 years.
They've already done it. They've already released it, so go listen to it.
But like, that'd be cool. But it gets boring after a while. Like, we've all done it where we've gone through like a couple of bands that have been like a little bit, not necessarily scared to evolve, but they've got material that they want to use. Perhaps from like a previous album's writing session or something. Like, he got 3 albums back to back, and he's almost like the first album, part B and C. Whereas you'll get someone like Mastodon, where like they still keep one foot in the previous album, but they're off exploring with the other foot somewhere.
But interestingly, the other side of that is, I think I might be wrong about this, but I think the guy out of Nile, the chief guy, I don't know if it's Carl Sanders or I think it's Carl Sanders, was saying, like, he got to this point in his career where he realised Nile did one thing really well, and he realised, I'm just not going to budge from that now. When you listen to all the Nile albums, it's like, it's Nile, and it's always amazing, it's always mind-blowing death metal, but they're always just going to do that one thing better than anybody else. So why not, plough that particular field for the rest of your career?
You went to Sabaton.
I guess there's merit in any approach. Just be good and valid. Kind of thing.
Do your thing well.
Essentially. Because I mean, look at Motorhead. Like, no one's going to go, oh, Motorhead were the same the whole way through. Okay, cool, but they rocked. Like, anytime, I defy you to have gone to see Motorhead and gone, I was bored. You'll always be entertained.
You might say I was
just
deaf
there like that for the whole set, barely moving. Like, you know what I mean? You're not going to get entertained by him hanging off the lighting ring. But it's just that.
You just can't picture him doing that.
It's just that wall of sound, and just like, it's just Lemmy. You know what I mean? There, like, just dominating the entire room.
That's the other thing, isn't it? That back to what we're saying about, that the portrait of the artist at a particular period of time. Your music is a reflection of who you are, And like a lot of artists use their music to figure out who they are, but someone like Lemmy, he knew who he was. When he started making the music, he had a very solid idea of who he was, and it's like, this is who I am and this is what I do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And they've done umpteen albums like that, and they worked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did Motorhead ever do a bad album?
Not really listened to many Motorhead albums.
I couldn't tell you if I've listened to every Motorhead album, to be honest with you.
I don't think they made a non-Motorhead album.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so if you're into Motorhead, then no one's going to do it better than that, are they?
If you find someone with Motorhead written on it, and it's like a folk covers album, it's probably not Motorhead.
Yeah.
It's probably Richie Blackmore.
Motor Heath, maybe.
So if we see an album sleeve that's got widows on it, and it's kind of like psychedelic and has, you know, like 4 women on the front.
Yeah, that's probably us.
Mate, I'm all for that. Yeah. I'm all for that.
And we see like some big-titted desert nymph sat on a Ford Mustang in the desert. You're just like, yeah,
on a skateboard.
That's clearly a Widow's album.
Right, so now we know what the cover for the next album looks like. But that guy's going to have to move along, so we've got a couple of other people to interview as well. It's been a pleasure chatting to you.
Yeah, great.
Brilliant.
Thanks a lot, guy.
It's great. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks.